In the repair shop today, a blue-blooded green machine.
It actually says, by appointment to His Majesty the King.
As Dom carries out a right royal repair.
It dates it all to the reign of King George VI.
I bet you're chomping at the bit to get on with this.
While Susie's saddlery skills are put to the test.
I can't think of a better item for you to work on.
As she gets a leather keepsake back to champion form.
Anything to do with horses, I'm there.
But first, a very special assignment. Artist Jackie Hall is desperate to restore some precious family items that she would only entrust to the capable hands of ceramics queen Kirsten Ramsey.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I'm Jay.
Hi, Jay, I'm Jackie.
All right, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie, I'm Kirsten.
Hi, Kirsten, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, what have we got in the box then?
Some sculptures that were made by my elder brother. And there's 3 sculptures that are meant to sit on the bench.
Your brother must have been an artist.
He was a great artist, yeah. And then there's the little old couple.
Oh.
You can see he's a bit damaged. There's also a little bench that he made himself.
Right.
But I don't know if he was much of a carpenter, because it's a bit fallen apart.
Okay.
They're incredibly expressive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The reason they're so precious is my brother died when he was 18, and he made these sculptures the year before he died, when he so probably only about 17, and they came into our possession after he died. So it was a very big tragedy for the
It's okay.
for the family that he died so young.
Was it a sudden loss?
It was just a terrible accident, which is still quite difficult to fathom, really.
What was your brother's name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Tell us about Andrew. Was you close?
Yeah, we were very close, yeah. My parents had 4 children in 2.5 years, so he was the oldest, and he was very sensitive, very creative, very good fun. He was my best friend, really, through my teenage years. And, you know, we all still miss him a great deal. We're so lucky to have these, you know, that as a way of keeping his memory with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is why it was so tough that they got so broken. They've had a few mends over the years, yeah. Okay. There's some really dodgy old glue, and they feel a bit unloved, but we have loved them. We just haven't been able to look after them as well as we could have done, I think.
Right, so we have got quite a lot of damage, actually.
Yeah, that arm's really bad,
yeah.
I sort of made some attempts to mend them, which was disastrous.
Okay.
So,
there's so much expression just with the tool marks.
She looks so grumpy, and he
full
looks
of character.
Full of character, exactly. If there's any way these 3 can still sit on that bench, it would just be absolutely incredible. So I don't know what can be done.
I think we've got someone who can.
That's going to be an absolute pleasure to work on. Lovely.
Good.
I can see how much these mean to you and your family. So we're going to make sure we get these back to you. Okay?
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for bringing them in.
I can't thank you enough for helping us to make them better. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Andrew's sculptures have really become quite damaged over the years, and it's not because we haven't loved them, but just because we wanted them to be on display, not hidden away. But there's a kind of feeling of guilt and sadness that we didn't take care of him and his memory. Having someone like Kirsten look at them feels like bringing him back to life a little bit as well.
What a short life Andrew's lived. But so talented, that's like, wow.
I'm absolutely blown away by this. The main work with these pieces is to try and get them clean, I think.
Okay.
That surface really attracts the dirt.
Right.
Then I'm going to work on these old restorations here. They look really unsightly, so I'm going to take the old adhesive off.
That sounds really risky, taking all the glue apart.
You're absolutely right. They are very fragile. It does have a tendency to crumble and break. And then, of course, we've got this. I don't know if you're going to be able to
Because that needs to be secure for all those three
It
guys.
does, yeah.
So, yeah, if you take the figures, then I'll sort out the bench with Will.
Great.
OK?
Yeah, I can't wait to get started, Joe.
Go on, then.
It's quite unusual to be working on something that's unglazed. You can't wipe the surface clean. I'm just working through different sizes of brushes to get into all the little nooks and crannies that have been created by the folds in the clay. And what's actually really delightful is you can actually see Andrew's thumbprint where he's smoothed the clay over this guy's back. And it's incredibly personal. There's a lot to clean, so I think I'm going to be here for a little while.
Next, a beloved gardener's gadget that's been put out to pasture.
Hi there.
Pleased to meet you.
Come inside.
Thank you.
John Knowles is hoping Dominic Chinea can help bring a trusty machine whirring back to life.
Thank you so much for bringing in this mower. It's brilliant. How did you come to get hold of something like this?
Well, originally it was my grandfather's mower.
Right.
Yeah.
OK.
He bought it between 1945 and 1955.
So he probably bought it new?
Yes, yeah. My father had it after my granddad, and he told me that they were very well-made machines.
It's a good make, it is.
Yes,
yeah. It's quite a thing to buy. He must have really liked his garden then.
Oh, he did, yeah. So his garden was always immaculate.
Was it?
And he always did wonderful stripes on the lawn.
Oh, perfect.
So,
like
yes.
the old arrow straight up and down the grass.
That's right.
So were you quite close with your grandparents?
Oh, yes, very close with them, yes. In fact, I lived with them for a short while.
Oh, did you?
Yes, after my mother died, yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
She died of leukemia when I was just under 5.
Oh, sorry.
So I went to stay with my grandparents for a while. They kind of brought me up.
Yeah? What was he like, your grandfather?
Oh, wonderful man.
Yeah?
He was my hero. He survived 2 world wars. He was at Ypres in the First World War and survived that. And then in the Second World War, his house in Coventry was bombed.
Oh, no.
So really...
And he survived that?
And he survived that.
Wow.
But I just admired the man, you know.
Yeah. But it looks like it hasn't been used in quite some time.
No, the grass-cutting ability is somewhat diminished.
OK, yeah. What you're going to do with this, if we can get it working and if I can restore it?
If you can restore it, well, I shall use it.
You're going to use it? You've got some grass?
Yes, oh yes, I've got some grass. I also love the fact that it doesn't make a noise.
Of course.
And it's environmentally friendly.
Perfect, yes.
So you're
No
getting
fuel.
exercise and you're saving the environment, so it's a win-win situation.
That's it.
So it's worth saving, I think.
Absolutely. I'll do my best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. It's a beautiful lawnmower, and there's no way I could even consider scrapping it. As my grandfather meant so much to me, I wanted to try and preserve the lawnmower, because I know that he would have liked to have seen it in a better condition than it is now.
The company that made this machine, Ransoms, have been producing lawnmowers painted in their distinctive green livery since 1832. They became such a prestigious British brand, they were awarded a royal warrant and emblazoned with the coat of arms. They are still producing lawnmowers today, and old machines like this one have become beloved collector's items.
This is going to be so much fun working on this mower. It is literally right up my street. An old machine, all the cogs and gears and getting all these mechanisms working. Those blades are definitely going to need a sharpen. They're definitely not going to cut any grass. And the big one is the cosmetics. It is looking tired. The first thing I'm going to have to do is take it completely apart. Right, OK, side cover's coming off. Big moment. OK, OK. Nothing looks broken on the surface, no missing teeth, which is really good. And it's actually given me access so I can get this thing apart even more. Everything in here is just caked. My bench is covered in awful lots of dirt and grass. It's all needs a lot of cleaning.
Also immersed in a big clean-up operation, Kirsten. She's been gingerly going over the fragile clay sculptures, trying to remove over 40 years of dust and dirt.
This is really challenging, cleaning this unglazed surface. I'm having to think about all the different techniques that I've got in my toolbox. One of the ones that's proving to be the most effective is something called broomstick, and it's a rubber material. It's slightly sticky, and you just roll it over the surface and the dirt sticks to it and you just lift it away. And for this kind of material, it's ideal.
While Kirsten brings the figures back to life, Jay has asked Will to give them some solid seating.
Well, this is definitely the smallest bench I've ever worked on. I'm just working out how many pieces I'm missing, and everything's a little bit wobbly. So I'm gonna cut out those new pieces and start sticking everything back together. I really don't want to take away the character of Andrew's bench. It's going to be quite a sympathetic restoration, but the main thing is getting this sturdy enough to take the weight.
I'm really keen to see if I can get rid of this really unsightly old adhesive. So I'm just applying some acetone on a cotton wool swab. Fortunately, it is seeming to soften slightly. There's no staining, and I'm really happy with the way it's going. So I'm going to reunite this chap with his arm now. I'm just going to apply the adhesive, and I'm going to offer it up. My problem is going to be getting the tape to stay in place, because nothing really wants to stick onto this apart from dirt. So there's a few old breaks on these sculptures which I'm just going to leave well alone. The adhesive that's been used is actually much stronger than the material, and to try and undo the restoration, it's just going to cause damage. So there's a little bit of area of loss where the two pieces come together, and I'm going to use an acrylic filler, which is ideal for this material. When you look at them closely, they are covered in Andrew's marks of him working these pieces. That must be a real link for Jackie and her family. I've got a little bit of retouching, then the real sort of dramatic transformation is once Will has hopefully made the bench sturdy enough that I can sit these figures back onto it for the first time in probably many, many years.
Whilst Kirsten continues her artful restoration, brother and sister duo Steve and Suzie are awaiting the barn's next arrival. Anne Purden from Glasgow has brought a challenge perfectly matched to Susie's master saddler skills.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Anne.
Hello, Anne. So what have you brought in for us
I
today?
have brought Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
This is him.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
He's a horse my father made during the war when he was in hospital in Italy.
Oh, my word.
So, why did your dad make this?
Well, I think it must have been some sort of occupational therapy just to keep him occupied while he was in hospital.
So he'd not done any leather work before?
No.
That's amazing.
Wow. That's incredible.
It is.
Yes.
And he made it in a hospital?
Yes. Yeah, he had an accident and he was in hospital, I think, for about 3 months. He never really spoke about it, so we don't really know the full details. You know, he didn't talk about the war at all.
Did it affect him that way?
My mother told me in latter years that he'd had a nightmare every night up until the early 70s.
Poor chap.
And there was no help available in those days.
Sure.
They just had to get on with it.
Yeah,
They did. So how did you come by the horse?
Well, it just became a toy, first of all for my sister and then for me. And we used to ride dolls on his back.
So he had quite a hard life when he
Yeah,
was
he did have a hard life, yes.
I wonder his legs haven't given way, actually.
It's amazing that he's still standing.
It really is. Great skill, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, he was some man. Kept himself busy right up until his last few years. I mean, he was 94 when he died.
Okay.
That was 8 years ago, and we just thought, oh, what would do with Garibaldi?
The saddle wants to come off, yeah.
Yeah, his saddle comes off and his reins are missing.
I can see he put some holes in, so he had a bridle on.
He did have a leather mane and a leather tail. I don't know if that's
What, you'd like a
possible.
leather mane and tail?
If that was possible. Really, it's to stabilise the leather on his actual body because we can't let anybody touch him just now.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he every time I feel I pick him up, another wee bit of leather flakes off.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I will do my very best to put him back
sure
into
you
good
will.
condition.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Bye.
Take
Bye-bye
care.
now.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Garibaldi's important to us because it reminds us of what my father had to go through. He suffered a lot, I think, during the war, and it's great to have something that we can pass on to the grandchildren and great-grandchildren to remind them of what went on 75 years ago.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
fantastic.
I bet you're chomping at the bit to get on with this.
Very good. No, it is. It's lovely. But I've noticed all of this cracked leather needs attention as
Yeah,
well.
what is it actually that's coming off?
It's the surface of the leather, so that the way that they finished it with the dye and they seal the leather.
Yeah.
Over time, because it gets really dry,
Yeah.
it just starts to crack off.
Right.
And then what I need to do is to replace the mane and the tail and all of this bridle work that's missing and broken.
Yeah. I can't think of a better item for you to work on. Your love of horses
I
and
know.
saddlery.
I know. Anything to do with horses, I'm
Yeah.
there. So, no, I'm really looking forward to getting going on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I better get on with it.
OK, right.
As a child, I would like to make equipment, little farm horses, and they were only about this high, and I would make saddles for those. I was a saddler in the making, for certain. Let's see if I can pull this over the horse's head. Okay. The leather surface, where it's coming away here, I've never tried this before, but this is an acrylic dye that we use, which dries solid like a paint, but has some flexibility to it. So I'm going to pop this underneath and just see if this is going to actually glue these pieces of leather down. I want to let this dry and see how strong it is and make sure that I can't peel that piece of leather back, and then I can start addressing the rest of the horse.
In the outdoor workshop, Dom's been wrestling with a Herculean horticultural task. dismantling the 1940s lawnmower.
And that is the last piece of the mower. It's now completely stripped down, and I've certainly got my work cut out. But I'm going to run over and see if Will can make me a new set of these front rollers, because these have definitely seen better days. Hello, mate.
Hey, buddy.
I've got John's lawnmower outside in pieces.
OK.
These used to be the front roller.
Right.
They're such a precise, important part of the mower because they sort of dictate how long your grass is cut.
OK, so they need to be perfect.
They need to be exactly the same, yeah.
Right.
Otherwise your grass is going to be all over the place. So,
no problem. Leave
nice
it
one.
with me.
Thanks, mate. I've now got the daunting task of trying to clean all of these components for the lawnmower. I'm just going to resort back to good old-fashioned elbow grease and start scrubbing up some of these gears just to remove years of old dirt.
So my plan is to put this big chunk of oak on the lathe, and hopefully it shouldn't take long to get that nice cylindrical shape. And I think we're ready to do some turning.
This grass box is so beautiful. Now I've actually been able to clean it and have a proper closer look at this crest. It actually says, by appointment to His Majesty the King. That tells me that this is the original transfer and the original grass box, which is amazing. It dates it all to the reign of King George VI. Having the original on there in this amazingly good condition is too rare. So I'm just going to use my airbrush just to hopefully lift the aesthetics of the grass box, because I know that John wants it looking shiny like his granddad had it, like it deserves to be.
Well, now that the piece of wood has been turned nice and smooth, it's an even thickness throughout. I'm now going to turn in 4 grooves to separate the 4 pieces. Well, that has turned out really well. Nice and even. All I need to do now is chop that into 4 singular pieces and drill the holes in the middle.
Okay, I now need to leave that to dry nicely. In this sun, it's going to bake on there beautifully. Then I can put it all together.
Having repaired and filled all the breakages on the treasured sculptures, Kirsten needs to camouflage her handiwork.
This is now ready to be retouched. It's just going to disappear before your eyes, which I have to say is an element of this job that I still really enjoy. That painting, getting the right colour, and just watching the fill disappear.
How are we doing, Kirsten?
Good.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
One bench, all done and dusted.
Oh, Will's done a wonderful job. That's
You
great.
know how they sit on there then, yeah?
Yeah, this guy here, and then...
Newspaper guy in the middle, isn't
Yeah. And then this poor lady at the end, it feels very sturdy. That's
Strong,
great.
yeah? Jackie's going to be well pleased when she sees these.
Yeah.
Well done.
For Jackie, these sculptures are a handcrafted legacy left behind by her beloved brother Andrew, who died 42 years ago at the age of 18.
I'm feeling quite excited and full of anticipation and a little bit nervous. They're very precious objects, so yeah, I'm excited.
Hi, Jackie.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jackie? You okay?
Hi, Jay. Nice to see you.
How you feeling?
I can't wait to see them.
We're excited for you.
Feeling
as
a bit
well.
emotional, a little bit.
All right.
I'm okay.
Right.
Oh my goodness, they're all sitting again. Wow. It's been such a long time since they were where they were supposed to be. Wow, look, his arm's fixed. It doesn't even look like you've mended it. Wow. They're just amazing. And the bench. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I've loved working on them.
Did
yeah,
you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've brought a part of my brother back to us. I'm so grateful.
Jackie, I know you really want to get these home. So, Kirsten, do you mind wrapping them up?
With pleasure, yeah.
The minute I saw them, the first emotion I had was, oh my God, that's how Andrew made them. That's how they're supposed to be. They just look like they've just been made by him, to be honest. It's a great, great gift to his memory, I think.
Susie's off to a good start on the leathercraft horse that helped a wartime soldier's rehabilitation. Her plan for consolidating the flaking leather was a winner. Now she could address Garibaldi's balding bits.
The first thing I need to work on is trying to get a really nice colour match. Just going to start with base brown. I've got some black, it needs to be darker, and a little bit of red, like an aubergine colour as well. So I've got a very fine brush here, and the beauty of this is, as I go around the edges, I can actually encourage the dye to go underneath, and that will help to seal all of these rough edges here. And I'll make sure that it can't flake up. The key here is to stabilise the top surface, and then I can go ahead and start to feed the leather. While I've been conditioning this horse, I've realised that we've got a couple of areas where the padding is actually moved, and the legs are beginning to move a little bit too much. I'm worried about this because if I don't go in there and fill with some more flocking, then eventually the leather could crack across where that leather is constantly being moved back and forth. I was going to go up this centre seam of the chest here, but this leather has actually been quite damaged over the years. So I'm going to go for this seam because it just seems to have a little bit more integrity and strength to it, minimising my risks. And hopefully that seam will just come apart. OK, so now I've got this seam opened enough, I can access down into the armpit area here of the horse, make a tunnel, if you like, to add a little bit of the new flocking. So just make sure there's a deep enough channel there. I'm going to use sheep's wool, just the fibres. So I'm just going to put a little bit in at a time, again, so that I don't stress anything. And I want to just ease that gently down into that armpit area, just down here. I'll sew the seam up and he'll be able to stand just that little bit taller. So that's one stitch in place, about 10 more to go.
It's been an uphill struggle for Will and Dom, working together to get the vintage lawnmower up and rolling again.
Now is the best part of any restoration. I've got all of the components for John's lawnmower laid out on the bench. They're all now going to start to come together. All that hard work's going to start to pay off. Unless it goes wrong.
How's it going?
Hey, mate, you OK?
I've got another piece for your puzzle here.
They look brilliant. Bang on. Thank you so much.
No worries, anytime.
Yeah, awesome. Once I've got the blades back in place, I can get the next side cover on, and we're well on the way. Come on. It's all well and good me painting these parts nicely and polishing everything up and the lawnmower looking like a beautiful machine, but it needs to work. All the gears are now in the gearbox. It's all lovely and smooth now compared to what it was before. I can't really progress any further with the rebuild until I sharpen these blades. Now is the time to do that whilst I can still get to them. So to sharpen them, I'm going to do something that's called back lapping.
A coarse paste is swabbed onto the blades, which then grind against each other as the mechanism turns, honing the edges.
It is really important that you get a nice clean cut on the grass. It gives it that really nice, sharp finish. They are sharp enough now, the blade's looking really good. Now I can finish putting the rest of the mower back together. Oh, thank goodness for that. There we go. The lawnmower is finished. I've got no nuts and bolts left on the bench, which is always a really good sign. All the mower needs now is the grass box sitting pride of place at the front there, and it's ready to go.
For owner John, this bit of vintage garden kit holds powerful reminders of a happy childhood with his granddad.
My relationship with my grandfather was very strong, and hopefully using the lawnmower again would remind me of my grandfather. Every time I cut the lawn with it, I would think of him.
How you doing, John?
Oh, very well, thank you, Jay.
You all right?
Yourself?
I'm very good, actually.
Good,
Can't complain.
excellent.
Good to
Hello,
see you
Dom.
again, John. You
Lovely
okay?
to see you again. Very excited.
Come on. Do you want to see it?
I do.
Yeah.
Go on, let him see.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're so welcome. You're so welcome.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it more how you remember?
It is, yes, it is. Oh, it's wonderful. You couldn't have done a better job.
Oh,
I'm
thank
really,
you.
really pleased. Thank you so much.
Good on you, John. Good on you. So you're going to cut some grass for us then, see if
Yes,
it works?
yes, yes. Do you want me to...
Go on then, have a go. Yeah, I'll get out your way.
Wow.
Hey, look. Oh, that's a
Wow.
relief.
That is just brilliant.
It's been a long while since it's done that.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a long while since it's done that, yes. Absolutely.
You like it?
Spot on,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Bless you, John. That's nice. It's nice to see someone smile over a lawnmower. Eh? You don't often see that.
No.
It's just such a lovely piece of machinery.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, that's and it was my granddad's.
So now with this fix, your
Yeah.
lawn could look as good as your granddad's, couldn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah?
could, yes.
We need those arrow straight lines.
Absolutely, yes.
You've got to keep them going, mate. Not just one line.
You'll have me doing the whole lawn.
Look,
That is time.
it's good, isn't it? Oh, it's
he
so
knows,
nice
he
seeing it
knows.
working again.
Yeah. Yeah, you carry on, John. You carry on.
You take it easy. I'll cut the grass.
This is more like it, isn't it?
This is it.
Good job.
Words don't describe how pleased I am. I was just glad to see a good friend again. I thought about my grandfather when I saw the lawnmower, and I'm sure he's looking down thinking, wow, what a fantastic job.
The finish line is also in sight for Suzie,
Yeah.
who has been nursing Garibaldi back to health.
I'm really happy with how the horse is looking at the moment. What he needs now is to be dressed. He's missing his mane and tail. So I thought what I'd do is I'd use this really, really fine 0.6 leather, and this should hopefully just flow down as a mane would. Just going to dye it and just do a few coats of this dye. There we go. And now what I want to do is I want the mane when it's on the Garibaldi horse just to fall like in a natural flow. So I'm going to cut the fringing at a bit of an angle. And then I can start sewing everything back onto the horse. You need to look like a real pony, ain't he? The majority of the saddle is here. It's just the straps are broken completely. I've been able to find some leather that's going to work for the job. It's just a case of getting everything fixed back onto the horse. So I'm just going to use a little bit of contact solution to hold it all in place. Right, let's pull that up tight. Just trim those loose bits up. And there we have Mr. Garibaldi. Mane and tail intact, and now a nice little bridle and saddle to go with it. All ready for Anne to come and collect, and hopefully this will bring back all those memories that she has as a little child playing with this horse.
Patiently making this leather toy helped Anne's dad through convalescence during the Second World War. And now he's had his own recuperation, she's come to collect him.
Garibaldi was always a toy to us. He was never an ornament, just a toy, and I really want him to be able to be played with by my grandchildren, by my dad's great-grandchildren, the ones he never saw. He reminds us of my dad and how much we loved him and just what a great man he was.
Hello, Anne.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I just want to see what you've been able to do with him. He was in such a sorry state.
I know that Garibaldi is very, very important to you, and that's why you wanted him fixed.
I think it was really important because he's one of the few things we've got left that my dad actually made. Everything else has gone, really, you know, that he made.
I bet you're really excited to be reunited with him.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. Oh. Oh, Garibaldi. Oh. I can't believe what you've been able to do to him. Oh, he's just beautiful. Yeah, he's just marvellous. Thank you so much. He's just wonderful.
Do you know, Anne, I've been watching Suzie working on Garibaldi, and it just reminded me of when she was a child working and making saddles and things for her own horses. I think it took her back to her childhood as well.
Oh, that's good. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm amazed at what you've been able to do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Well done. Good one.
Yeah. Oh, happy with that.
Good.
Yeah.
Garibaldi will be sitting out in the house somewhere so that everybody who comes in can see him, because that'll be a reference point to talk to the grandchildren about what their great-grandfather did and what a great man he was.